Are you living in Maryland and wondering how to navigate the emissions testing requirement for your vehicle? Well, stay tuned to discover a step-by-step guide that will save you time, effort, and ensure your car meets all state regulations without the usual headache. Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, so let's dive right in by addressing the biggest headache everyone anticipates, figuring out how to actually schedule that dreaded appointment. You know the drill. You get that notice in the mail, your registration renewal is looming, and you are totally dreading the idea of navigating some clunky online booking system just to find a time slot that works with your busy life. You might be wondering, exactly how far in advance do I need to book this thing? Well, here's the absolute best part of the whole program. You don't. No appointments are required. Actually, scratch that. The MVA literally doesn't even accept them for emissions testing. It is a completely walk-in, on-demand service. We're going to show you exactly how to take full advantage of this setup so you can get in and out in just minutes. Here is our roadmap for today. We're covering 1. An intro to VIEP. 2. Who needs an emissions test? 3. Your testing options. 4. Preparing for the test. 5. What to do if your vehicle fails. And 6. The conclusion. Section 1, Intro to VIP and why Maryland requires it. The completely crucial point here is that VIEP isn't just some pointless bureaucracy, it's actually a really critical environmental policy. Jointly run by the Motor Vehicle Administration and the Department of the Environment, VIEP is specifically designed to reduce harmful air pollution. We're talking ground-level ozone and smog across Maryland's busiest regions. It ensures compliance with the Federal Clean Air Act by catching those vehicles that are secretly pumping out excessive pollutants. Section 2. Who needs an emissions test? And is it required for you? So you might be asking yourself if your car even falls under this rule. Emissions testing is legally required if your vehicle is registered in one of these 14 specific higher-density counties, plus Baltimore City. These areas have critical air quality indicators, so if you live in Montgomery, Prince George's, Anne Arundel, or any of the other places listed here, you are on the hook. But if your vehicle is registered outside these 14 counties, you're entirely exempt from the emissions mandate. No test required. Let's take a look at this timeline to see how the testing life cycle builds. If you buy a brand new, never-before-titled vehicle, you get an incredible 72-month, yes, literally a 6-year grace period before your very first test, provided you are the original owner. After that, or if you purchase a used vehicle, you fall into the standard biennial testing cycle. That just means you have to pass an emissions test every 2 years to renew your registration. Now, what's really interesting here is the extensive list of permanent exemptions. If you drive a fully electric vehicle, and I mean fully electric, not a hybrid, or a strictly diesel vehicle, you don't need a test. The same goes for historic and antique plates, motorcycles, massive commercial vehicles over 26,000 pounds, and older cars from 1995 or earlier. There are even exemptions for seniors over 70 and drivers with disability tags as long as they meet strict low mileage limits. So definitely check if you fall into one of these lucky categories. Section 3, Testing Options and How to Get It Done Fast. This side-by-side comparison provides a fantastic little hack for skipping the line and minimizing your wait time. You basically have 2 main options across Maryland's 18 testing locations. You can use the traditional full-service stations, where a human technician does all the work. Those are open during standard business hours and on Saturday mornings. Or you can bypass the lines entirely and use the self-service kiosks available at select VIP stations and MVA branches. These kiosks are open 24/7. That means you can test your vehicle literally at midnight on a Sunday if you want to. And the best part, it's actually cheaper. Using a self-service kiosk costs just $10, making it hands down the most convenient and cost-effective option. Just remember to bring a credit card, because the kiosks absolutely do not accept cash. The full-service lanes, on the other hand, will cost you $14. Oh, and here's a quick pro tip. Before you head out to a full-service station, you can actually view live wait time cameras on the Maryland MVA website to see how long the line is in real time. Section 4, Preparing for the Test and Avoiding a Preventable Fail. Okay, before you drive up to a station or a kiosk, let's make sure you don't fail for a totally silly reason. The absolute most crucial thing to check before taking the test is your dashboard. An illuminated check engine light is an automatic failure. Don't even bother paying for the test if that light is on. Go get it checked out first. Also, double-check that your gas cap is screwed on tight and isn't damaged. And finally, make sure you actually bring your vehicle registration card or the VEIP notice you got in the mail, because you're going to need that barcode or vehicle info to even start the test. If you have a passenger vehicle from 1996 or newer, the actual test takes just a couple of minutes. It's called an onboard diagnostics, or OBD test. At a kiosk, you simply grab the provided scanner and plug it directly into the OBD port right under your steering wheel. The kiosk essentially talks to your car's internal computer to make sure the emission systems are functioning correctly and haven't recorded any secret fault codes. It's super quick, entirely painless, and completely digital. Section 5. What if your vehicle fails? Don't panic. Here are your next steps. So, if the computer finds a fault code and you do happen to fail, first of all, take a breath. Your car won't be impounded. Just follow this simple, totally stress-free action plan. The moment you fail, the MVA instantly grants you a 4-month extension on your deadline. This gives you plenty of time to get the issue diagnosed, get it repaired, and complete what's called a drive cycle, which just means driving the car enough for the internal computer to reset and verify the fix. After that, you just head back to a station and retest before your new deadline expires to avoid having your registration suspended. Now, to ensure you aren't wasting your hard-earned money on guesswork, it's highly recommended to take your failing diagnostic report to a Certified Emissions Repair Facility, or CERF. These are specialized, independent mechanic shops specifically certified by the state. They have the precise equipment required to properly diagnose emissions failures, and they know exactly what the MVA needs to see for you to pass that retest. And keep in mind, the MVA does offer some really flexible administrative safeguards. If you're an out-of-state college student or active-duty military currently deployed, you can easily request a temporary extension. Furthermore, if you've spent a significant amount of money at a certified facility trying to fix your car, but it physically still cannot pass, you can apply for a full waiver. This can permanently eliminate the testing requirement and keep your registration valid, assuming you meet their strict criteria and submit the right paperwork. Section 6. Conclusion. Wrapping up everything you need to know about VIP. Please note, this explainer is for informational purposes only. For the most accurate and up-to-date information, please refer to the official Maryland Motor Vehicle Administration or consult a legal expert. With the state making it so incredibly easy to stay compliant, you have to ask yourself, how will you handle your next emission cycle? Are you going to be the savvy driver pulling up to a 24/7 kiosk at your own convenience? Or will you bypass the system entirely by making your next car a fully exempt electric vehicle? The choice is absolutely yours. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.